Hello, College Park Cougars. Welcome back. Today we are going to work on the blue bird words. Please take a look at these words and notice the words that you're familiar with, but also notice the words that you're not quite familiar with just yet. Those are the words that you're really going to want to focus on when we review the blue bird words today. So let's get started. Our first word has three sounds. The sounds are y, or, s, yours. The word is yours. It's your, like we learned in the last list, with an S. Yours. For example, they live in the building next to yours. Let's practice yours. Read yours. Sound yours. 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 Your turn. Spell yours. Y-O-U-R-S. Yours. Your turn. Read yours 2 times. The word is yours. The next word has 3 sounds. The O-E together makes the sound of short U, in the word us, does. For example, Rebecca does her homework before she goes out to play. Does. Let's practice does. Read does. Sound does. D. Us. Does. Your turn. Spell does. D-O-E-S. Does. Your turn. Read does 2 times. The word is does. Our next word has 2 parts. The first syllable says all. The second part of this word says ways. When we put it together, all, ways, always. For example, it is always important to try your best. Always. Let's practice always. Read always. Sound always. 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 Your turn. Spell always. A-L-W-A-Y-S. Always. Your turn. Read always 2 times. Always. Always. The word is always. In our next word, we don't practice the sounds of this word because it is very tricky. We just memorize this word. It is the word one, like the number 1. 1. For example, I have 1 pet at home. 1, like the number. When we practice the word 1, we don't sound it out. We just read it. Read 1. Spell 1. O-N-E. 1. Your turn. Read 1 2 times. The word is 1, like the number 1. In our next word, it goes with 1, but it has a C and an E together. That's going to make the sound S to make the word once. 1 time is once. For example, we go to the library once a week. That means 1 time a week. Once. Let's read once. Spell once. O-N-C-E. Once. Your turn. Read once 2 times. Once, once. The word is once, 1 time. Our next word has 2 parts. This part's tricky because it normally says w, but in this word it says the H sound, and the O here says the sound oo. When we put it together, it says ooh, who. For example, who is ready for art class? Who. Remember, the WH says and the O says ooh in the word who. Read who, sound who, ooh, who. Your turn. Spell who. W-H-O, who. Your turn. Read who 2 times. The word is who. The next word has to do with who, but we're adding on to who, we're adding the sound of S to make whose, whose. For example, whose backpack is on the floor? Whose. Let's practice the word whose. Read whose, sound whose, ooze, whose. Your turn. Spell whose. W-H-O-S-E. Whose. Your turn. Read whose 2 times. The word is whose. Our next word has that final E that changes the U from a to U. The word sounds are use, use. For example, I use some help to clean up the mess. Use. Let's practice the word use. Read use, sound use, use, use. Your turn. Read use 2 times. Oops, we forgot to spell use. Spell use. U-S-E. Use. Your turn. Let's read use 2 times again. The word is use. Our next word also has our final E, which is going to make our O go from ah to O in the word those, those. For example, she practices playing those drums every day. Those. Let's practice those. Read those, sound those, those, those. Your turn. Spell those. T-H-O-S-E. Those. Your turn. Read those 2 times. The word is those. Our final blue word is similar to those, but the E is touching the first E, which turns it from eh to E in the word these, these. For example, these apples look delicious. These. Let's practice these. Read these, sound these, these, these. Your turn. Spell these. T-H-E-S-E. E-S-E. These. Your turn. Read these 2 times. The word is these. Now I will shuffle up our bluebird words. Let's see if you can read these words faster than I can read these words. Let's see if you can beat me. Ready? Let's begin. Whose, use, those, one, who, always, once, yours, does, these. Great job at practicing our bluebird words. Take a look at the list now. See what words you know. We keep reading these words and practicing until we're fast and fluent. Keep on going. See you next time.